Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a good week so far. We're into Wednesday, and I'm sorry I had some technical difficulties. So if you got on and then I disappeared, my camera just stopped working completely and the screen blacked out. So I'm not sure what happened there. So I had to restart. So I am sorry about that, but thank you for joining me today. I am in a run this morning, so I'm a little bit hyper. So I'm sorry if I start getting a little bit more animated than normal. I'm at home and I had something come up here, so I didn't get to my office like I planned. So things are just, and if you've watched me before, you know that I'm a creature of habit. So I hope everybody's doing well today, and I hope your centers are going strong and everything is going good. Say hi in the comments as you come in. I like the interaction. It makes me not feel alone. And again, if you watch this on the replay, make sure that you type in any questions. I'm more than happy to answer later on. But today we were going to talk about wellness. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, what does your wellness have to do with running a childcare center? And in these times, it really means a lot. Because again, and I really do touch on wellness a lot for you guys every time I talk about this, because it is so key to our success, especially right now. It is so key to making sure our centers stay open, which is the reason I'm doing this. The reason I'm coming on here every day is I'm going to do my part to make sure as many centers out there stay open after all this is over with. I've talked to you guys yesterday a little bit about the NEYC study that came out that's estimating 70% of childcare centers will go out of business because of this. So, I'm just going to do my part to make sure that doesn't happen. And wellness is key. If you've been watching the video series I've been doing, I did tell you I've been through something like this twice, actually. It's not my first rodeo. Is it my first pandemic? Yeah, it's pretty much all of our first pandemic. But it's not the first time that I have been through a disaster that almost took my business out. I've been through this. I've made it through twice now. So I've been through a flood I've told you about in my city right before we opened. My entire town was flooded. We lost 20% of the population of my city overnight. 50% of the children who were enrolled in my center were gone overnight. So it's not my first time. And then if you guys watched my enrollment workshop I told you about the fact that I have a neurological disease. And when I was diagnosed with it, my business really, really suffered. I did not know how to handle being sick yet, and the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me, so it was a period of getting me stabilized. Well, during that time, my center really had no leadership at all. So again, I almost lost everything. And during that time that I was getting stabilized. So I've gone through, one of them was a natural disaster that caused me to lose over 50%. And then during the time that I was sick, there was some other things that one's a huge long story. I'm not going to go into it, but there was some other just weird things that happened during that time. There's banking glitches and I had an accountant embezzling from me, and that I just, again, I almost lost everything. So this time is different for me. This time I am not going to let happen to me what I did last time. I am being proactive instead of reactive. The first time I was a new business owner when the flood hit. Well, I was actually not a new business owner. I was building my first center from the ground up. So it was new. It was my first big business, I should say. And I wasn't prepared, and I didn't know what was coming at me. The second time, same thing. I wasn't prepared. I didn't realize it. So now I am prepared, and mentally is the big, you guys, mentally. None of us can really prepare for this, but we can be ready, right? And we can, and like I said in one of my other videos, this is a situation none of us have control over. Even though we want control, we cannot control this, but we can take command, and that is the big difference here. So wellness really plays into this, and it really is going to be the difference of whether you succeed or you fail, you guys. And let me tell you, when I did get sick, and the reason I have a neurological disease today that will be with me for the rest of my life is because I wasn't taking care of myself during that time of my other disaster I dealt with. So in 2000, gosh, I can't even remember the year for sure now. I think it was either 2008 or 10, somewhere between there. That when the flood hit my town, that is when I just was working and working and working. I was working like 70-hour weeks. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was not doing well at all. And I got really sick. I actually got strep throat 8 times in 1 year. And that ended up triggering a dormant neurological disease. It was something I was born with, but it was dormant. All of the stressors and everything ended up triggering it. So now I have to adapt my life every day to this, right? And it's something that, in retrospect, I think God allowed in my life because it helped me to be the person I am today. It opened my eyes to a lot of things. But it also has me in a position where I do have to adapt my life every day to live with this, right? So it's so important to just take control, you guys. Don't let your wellness slip because the long-term side effects can be huge. The other thing is, if for those of you who've known me for a while, and I've also, in the last 2 years, I've lost 135 pounds. It's actually about 1.5 years now, and the weight I had gained was a result of not taking care of myself. And these are the times that all of that is really going to hit you. Okay, these disastrous times where we're not taking care of ourselves is when all of this really, really starts. But if you're not taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of your business. You cannot take care of your center. So whether you're an owner or a director, you cannot take care of your staff, which we have a responsibility to do. You cannot take care of your own family. Everything will fall apart. So that's why I stress why wellness. That's why I touch up on it, because it will end up biting you if you don't take care of yourself. So I do have some points and some different information I have for you just to help with the situation. And I'm sorry if I'm moving around. My dog keeps jumping on me. So, you've got to make sure right now that you're really prioritizing. Don't stop your exercise routines right now. Don't stop eating right. Don't stop doing all of that. Really watch that buffering. That is where, like, I had gained all that weight before that I ended up having to lose. I just told you guys about. And the buffering is when you're taking your emotional state. And it's something we don't teach children in this country, how to deal with emotions. Instead, we suppress. We teach them how to buffer. And then as adults, we end up having weight issues. We have alcoholics, drug addicts, and things like that because we aren't actively really teaching our children how to handle our emotions, right? So look for those things. If you go for, just a candy bar every time stress hits or something like that, watch it. Tell yourself, like, I'm not going to let this happen to myself. And keep doing what you need to do to keep the wellness up. So I was just really not paying attention. I was, always in a hurry. I was eating fast food every night, and I gained well over 100 pounds. My son was very young, so it was soon after having a baby, which led me to needing to lose 135 pounds that I've lost, and I still have about 20 more I need to do. So, and I can tell you guys, from being a person who's lost that much weight, don't put it on. And you just feel miserable when you have that kind of weight on you. Always just miserable. So just really watch yourself right now. It's so, so important. But on the business end of things, wellness also goes along with mindset. And if you've noticed, one of the things I'm really always touching up on with you guys, and I'm always trying to focus on, is your mindset. And that's the whole intention here on why I come on here and why I do these videos. Because I want to make sure your mindset is staying in a good place, because your mindset will determine your outcome in this situation. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your mindset will determine your outcome. Hello, Alana. Good morning. And so we've got to make sure that we keep our minds in a healthy place and in a positive place. I have to tell you, last night I got my first hate mail from somebody, my email, And it was kind of made me, ironically, it made me smile a little bit because I've known they were coming. If I'm going to put myself out there by making these videos, having a podcast, you know they're coming. But as I was reading the email, I realized this person is going to fail. They're not going to make it. They don't have the mindset to make it. And it was basically just telling me, you're trying to spread all this positive. There's nothing to be positive about them. You're giving people false hope. That was basically the email. And my first thought was, oh, this poor person, and I guess I just had to smile because I knew inside me that I was thankful I didn't have that mindset. I was thankful because I knew that I'm going to survive this because I do have a good mindset. It made me sad, however, to know that this person isn't going to make it. I knew just by that email where she was just saying, there's just no hope and our enrollment is down by 50%. And it kind of broke my heart. But at the same time, I had to smile because I didn't let it didn't bother me. And it was sad to see that, like, the lack of hopelessness. And I can tell you that person isn't going to make it. They're not, because they've already got it in their mind. And there's something in the psychology world called a self-fulfilling prophecy. And basically, a self-fulfilling prophecy is when you're projecting things that into your own life that comes through, right? So if you're telling yourself it's hopeless, if you're telling yourself this cannot be salvaged, I can't fix this, then you're not going to salvage it. You're not going to be able to fix it, and you will fail. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your self-talk and the things that you tell yourself, you will make come to pass. And I mean, I understand that's not 100% of the time. There are things out of our control. But what it is when you're in the right mindset, you will take the actions you need to take in order to succeed. And that's the whole key here. It's getting yourself in the mindset so you need to do what you need to do. That is the key, is doing what you need to do. So really watch that in your own mind. When you start thinking to yourselves like, I just can't do this, because you've got to change your self-talk to saying, I can do this. It's going to be hard, but I can do it, and I'm going to do it because it's what I need to do to make sure my center survives. That is the mindset you need to be in. So every time, and we do it, I have the same struggle still. I'll sit at my computer. I know I need to send a difficult email, or I need to have a difficult conversation. I have a difficult conversation later today I have to have. And I just tell myself before, I'm like, I can do this. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, it's going to be hard. Do I want to do it? No, but I know I need to do it, and I can do it. And that's really what we need to focus on, is that we are strong and we will do this. And you've just got to keep telling yourself. I mean, even if it's the first thing you tell yourself in the morning, I am strong, I'm going to do this. You've got to have the right mindset if you're going to survive. That's just how it is. And if you're already telling yourself the situation is hopeless, then you're not going to take the actions that you need to make it work. You're not going to take the actions that you need to find hope. So that is where it is there. Yeah, it is hopeless if you can't see it. And yesterday I talked to you guys about looking for the wins. That's part of the reason why I'm telling you guys to look for the wins, look for your blessings in your life, because there are wins, you guys. There are blessings out there, but we have to be intentional about acknowledging them. So I'm sorry about the bell that keeps ringing. My puppy is bell trained. She rings the doorbell when she needs to go outside, and she wants to let the cat in. So that's why the bell keeps ringing. But you've got to be intentional. You have to know and just be positive, or you're not going to make it. I received another email yesterday too that was asking me to take someone off my email list, because they said, and I try to make all my emails really positive. I try to make them give you good, valuable information. But I also do sell my membership in them. I am running a business, so I do also pitch my membership. And somebody just said, send me an email about, like, take me off your email list. I'm not going to join your membership anytime soon. Things are awful. And she just said, I can't remember. She was actually really nice about it, though. It wasn't a negative. She's like, but at the same time, I was just kind of like, oh, that mindset, you guys. take what you can. Yeah, if you're not going to join, that's fine. But I am giving you valuable information. If all you're seeing in the email is that one piece, then you're missing out on all the rest. It's being stuck in those mindsets of hyper focusing on what you perceive as something that you don't want or negative, instead of looking at the gifts that are there, right? It's just, what are you seeing? Really question the lens that you're looking through everything with, and look for those wins, look for the positive, look for the blessing, because I can guarantee you they're there. They're there. We're just not seeing it. And your mindset is all a part of wellness, how you feel every day, how you wake up in the morning. It is hard. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. I wake up in the morning and my first instinct, and I told you yesterday, is to go through all that. Oh gosh, what do I need to do? The fires I need to put out today. How do I need to deal with this? How do I need to deal with that? But we can control that. We can tell ourselves, no, I'm not going to let this just flood my mind today. And that's why I like to start my day in a devotion. That's exactly why, because it puts that, for me, it's putting that God is in control. God's got this. I don't need to worry about it. That, that I know that I can trust him. He's led me through everything before up until, and I can fully trust him. And so that's the mindset I need to get through every day. I don't need to be in my own mental frenzy. So that is why I choose to start my day in devotion every day, because it just helps me to be able to go out in confidence. And I do tend, when I let stress overwhelm me, I will pull back. I will become that person who just hides away. And so I have to intentionally do things not to allow that of myself. I will go into hiding if I don't really focus and I don't take control of my mind and my thinking. So that is why I know that you guys is the foundation right now. All of the actions I'm telling you to do are not going to happen if you don't have the right mindset. Mindset has got to be your foundational piece, right? And if you are a person of faith, I highly recommend reading Psalms 91 every day. That's what I've been doing. Just start your day with Psalms 91. It's amazing. Make you feel, I don't know, it just makes me feel confident and like I don't have to do this by myself. So, and that's just huge, knowing that you're not in this alone, right? So just really keep that in mind. Wellness is so, so important. And I've told you guys in the past, I am a certified life coach, so I just kind of go back to that all the time. And I also do have my degree in psychology and neuropsychology, so I just understand how important that brain piece is. And I know that if you're really going to succeed, if we're really going to make it through this, we need to have the right mindset. And one of the things too is I'm going to make it through this, but I know I'm going to be better for it. Am I going to have some obstacles to dig my way out of? Yeah, I will. I'm going to have obstacles. This is definitely setting back my plans, and I'm very goal oriented. I have a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 1-year plan. Am I going to have to put my goals back? Yeah, I am. But I also know that I can use this opportunity to make my center and my businesses, both of them, a stronger, better business. And part of the problem is we get so focused on the money that we don't, and we get so focused on, oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I can't, it's always about the money, that we don't see the other things we better. I've had to close down 2 of my classrooms, which is heartbreaking. It's hard. Yesterday I kept finding myself wandering into one of them, and it's really tough for me because it's always so full of life and vibrancy, and seeing it empty was very hard, right? So I finally told myself, okay, what am I going to do about it? I can come in here and let myself be sad every day. I can come in here and let this take me down, or I can do something productive to make this a positive instead of a negative. So we're going to start reconstructing the room. We're going to do, even if my boys are going to go in and help me, if I have to do it myself, I'm going to go in and start painting walls. We're going to go in and find everything that is broken in that room and replace it. We're going to just make it look brand new again. So by the time that room is open, it's going to look brand new. It'll look like a brand new building again. So that's where, how my thinking works. I've got to take this negative, this thing that is just pulling me down right now, and I've got to turn it into a positive, turn it into an opportunity. I really, I don't want to say turning it into a positive, because there's nothing positive about having to shut down a classroom. But I can turn it into an opportunity, which a year from now, I will be grateful I had. So that is really just like a glimpse into my mind, which is kind of scary, but my mind goes a little nuts sometimes. You know, I know Alana's on here. She can tell you. She gets to deal with me all day where I'm like, oh, I got an idea. You guys, managers meeting. We got to come. Now we are going to start this new thing. So she can tell you. So I was doing just some studying before I did this video by Brendan Burchard, who is a business coach. And he really bases his business coaching with wellness. That is like the foundation, is he basically gets people mentally healthy first, and then he dives into the business, right? And the reason he does this is because he did a study to see the most successful people and what do they do? How is it's just this big study he did on how the most successful people in the world think differently. And the couple things that he found is that the successful people approach self-care very differently than other people do. They really prioritize taking care of themselves. It's a major priority for them. The other thing that he did was that they're always seeking clarity. And this is a big piece to mental, like just well-being, right? They're always seeking clarity. They ask themselves questions like every situation they go into, every time something happens, they ask, who do I need to be in this situation? Who do I need to become? What do I need to do in this situation? What do I need to know is another thing he asks. The successful people ask is, what do I need to know in this situation? What knowledge? So they seek the knowledge, they educate themselves. And how should I treat people? And this is huge, you guys. How we treat our staff right now is huge. I cannot even begin to go into how important how we treat our staff is. Making sure that they feel valued, they know we care, and putting them first. It can be really, really hard right now, right? Because in one case, I'm looking at my center like, I need my staff there, I need them to work. But I also don't want them to work if they don't feel safe and if they don't feel secure. So we've got to find that balance, but we've got to really prioritize how we treat people. What is our role through this, and what do we need to know? So just knowing and stepping up into that leadership role that you need to step up into, gaining the knowledge so you have it, and also just how you're treating your staff. I mean, every day it's important. If you have poor employee retention, it's really the culture. It's not about the pay. It's not about the rest. If you have a good workplace, you will keep your staff. That's just, I mean, study after study shows that income is not the number one predictor of how people stay in a job. So just keep that in mind. So the Brendan Burchard also, you guys, right now has his free, he's actually made his wellness course free. This is usually, it's like $100 or $200, his wellness course, but right now he is offering it for free. If you go to his podcast, you can listen to the entire thing free, which is pretty cool. It's usually a couple $100, so I highly recommend it. It will really, really help you out on that. But, so yeah, taking care of yourself is just so important, you guys. It is really, really important. You, again, cannot take care of your staff. You can't take care of your family if you're not taking care of yourself. And you don't want to have the health issues that can come later down the road because you're not taking care of yourself at this time. Super, super important, just to make sure, be really conscious of that. Don't tell yourself things like, gosh, I really need that Taco Bell because I feel, which it goes through my mind all the time. I want potato chips right now. So yesterday I took some peppers to work because I really want potato chips. I need that crunchy. So just trying to find those healthy alternatives. So because I don't want to put myself in that situation again. I need to take care of myself. So I have the energy too. I mean, it comes down to the energy. I need the energy to make it through these days, especially with the neurological disease I have. I'm constantly trying to balance that. So it's so important for us to just be mentally healthy, physically healthy, and just keep your mindset. Mindset is vital to us right now. It is really going to make or break us. So that is what I have for you guys today. It is, I dedicated a whole day to it because it is just so important. It really is the foundation to making sure that we make it through this. So again, you guys, thank you for the questions. I do have some questions coming in for Friday's session. So I'm really appreciative of that. And if you keep them coming, if you want me to answer a question on video on Friday, just message it to me. Otherwise, if you want just like a quicker answer to a question, put it in the comments, and I'll get to it later. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and stay strong and stay healthy.